Hi guys, Dr. Lili here with my Pocket Pediatrician. This video is going to be a bit different than the ones I usually do. I know I have a few fans who are kids, but if you're a kid, this is not going to be a good video for you to watch, so please turn it off and find something else now. Normally, I like to talk about how to keep your kids healthy or safe or tell you about common illnesses and things like that. But I've had a lot on my mind lately, and I've decided it's time to just be completely real with you guys. I think all pediatric emergency room doctors kind of hide what we do from the general public. If I had $1 for every time someone said, "I don't know how you do what you do," or "I could never do your job," I'd probably be floating on my own island somewhere. Why? Because what we do can be really awful. Nobody wants to hear about the babies who died from bed sharing that we just couldn't save, or the little boys who died in a tragic fire, or the kids who are so horrifically abused that we can't even bring ourselves to talk about it. We don't get home from a shift and cheerfully tell our neighbors about the young teenager that we just diagnosed with HIV, or about the young girl who nearly bled out from a perfectly legal but botched abortion. We don't bring up the mother's wail when we tell her that her son just attempted suicide. We try to focus on the good. We think about the crayon-drawn thank you notes from our patients. We remember the grateful smile from a refugee seeking asylum who just needed an antibiotic for her children that she didn't think she'd be able to get. Or the hug from a little girl who's so grateful that she didn't need a shot today. Those good moments are little beacons of hope for us. But we have so many awful ones as doctors too. I realize that I've been there with people and shared some of the most awful moments of their entire lives. I've had so many difficult conversations over the years, and I've had people tell me their deepest, darkest secrets, things they've never told anyone before. Some of them haunt me, and some of them, thankfully, I've been able to let go. I'm not here today to gossip with you or tell you about all the awful things I've seen. That type of conversation accomplishes nothing. Instead, what I want to do is open the door to some of the awkward and tough conversations that I've had over the years. I want to share some of them with you in a series I'm going to call Difficult Conversations. My next 2 videos are going to be about childhood sexual abuse. I also plan on talking about sexually transmitted illnesses, teen pregnancies, mental health issues, and more. I don't know how many patients I've had over the years for suicide attempts and suicidal ideation. We need to talk about it. I honestly can't tell you how many pregnant teenagers I've seen, one of whom I remember was 16 and had already had 10 abortions. We need to talk about it. Every few weeks, a new challenge comes out, and we have kids coming in with the Hangman's Challenge, or the Tide Pod Challenge, or the Cinnamon Challenge, or now there's an IKEA Challenge. We need to talk about it. We need to talk about how heroin use is on the rise. We need to talk about how many kids I see who are sexually active and have no idea how sexually transmitted diseases even work. Our sexual education systems are failing them, and they need you as their parents to step in and help them understand what's going on. We need to talk about pornography and the effect it's having on kids and teens. Yes, I said kids. Studies show that the average age of onset of watching pornography is now 11 years old. That means that kids are experiencing porn at much younger ages. We need to talk about it. We need to talk about how to keep your kids safe online. We need to talk about all the things that nobody wants to talk about. Why? Because it's uncomfortable. It's awkward. It's uncomfortable to realize that thousands of children are sexually abused every day. It's uncomfortable to think about the fact that in some areas of the country like Washington, D.C., the HIV rate is higher than it is in places in sub-Saharan Africa. It's uncomfortable to ask a neighbor where they keep their guns when your child's going over there for a play date. These are all awkward conversations nobody wants to have. I'll be honest, I love socializing. I like casual conversations and parties and having fun. I really don't like rocking the boat. But here's the thing. If we stick with casual conversations and just skim the surface of our relationships and our lives, are we really accomplishing anything? Do we really know each other? Have we built a relationship that's based on trust? I've seen families' lives change within seconds of hearing a diagnosis. If you don't feel comfortable talking with your daughter about sex, is she going to be able to tell you if she's pregnant? Or are you going to bring your 14-year-old to the emergency department with abdominal pain only to find out that she's pregnant with a baby that she's been hiding from you for the last 9 months? Do you want your son to be talking about the number of girls he slept with in the last month with a touch of pride only to be brought to tears when he finds out that his HIV test is positive? Or do you want to get a call in the middle of the night that your teen is overdosed and is now in a coma? Or a call from your daughter's friend to tell you that her depression has become debilitating and that she's fallen victim to cyberbullies and is now taking part in the Blue Whale Challenge, which ends in suicide, by the way. It's time to get real. It's time to talk about the bad stuff. I don't like uncomfortable conversations any more than you do. And honestly, there's still plenty of things I can talk about on here that I'd really rather do. I will continue my regular, more medical videos for you guys as well, but I feel like this is really important. I just want to let you know I've started this series. I'm here to talk about the hard stuff with you. Hopefully watching a short YouTube video will open the door to some big conversations in your family. If there's a topic that you'd like to hear about, please reach out to me on any of my social media or visit me at mypocketpediatrician.com and let me know what you want to talk about. If you're feeling depressed, suicidal, or have any sort of urgent medical issue, please understand that you need to talk to your pediatrician or go to the nearest emergency department. I can't speak to specific situations, but I can try to create video based on the content that you want to hear about. I've got to be honest, sometimes when I go to work, I can't imagine that this is the world I'm bringing up my children in. I look at my sweet little toddlers and young children and I think about what life is going to be like for them when they're teenagers. And I really can't even fathom what that's going to be for them. But I want to start the process early. I want to start the conversations early and often so that we have an open relationship, and by the time they're teenagers and they need help navigating this crazy world, I'll be there with them every step of the way. And I hope that you can do the same with your teens and your children. Don't forget to hit that little red subscribe button down there so that you get updated whenever I post new content. This is Dr. Lili with my Pocket Pediatrician, and it's about to get real.
When the doctor says my child has a condition, I'll learn more at my Pocket Pediatrician.